Yeah, peace, 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 peace. What is going on, world? What is up? Hey, happy Friday, man. Welcome to another episode of Substantial Weekly. My name is Substantial. Welcome to the show. Man, shout out to everybody in the chat. Sorry for starting a little late today. As I've said in the past, I come into these lives right after a meeting with Words Beats and Life. So shout out to my brothers and sisters working at Words Beats and Life, doing that good work here in the community. Going to give you some more information. Gonna give some more information about that in a minute. Shout out to everyone in the chat, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all are hilarious. But yeah, let's say peace to everyone real quick. Let's see. Man, peace to Early, beating out beating out Green Face Kid today for first. Hold on, who else we got up in here? Then we got y'all are hilarious, man. Peace, what's going on, Soul Tiger? Good to see you up in here, family. Peace, Green Face Kid, who was dethroned today officially. Peace, what up, nephew? What up, Namu? What's going on? What up, Nair? Hey, peace, Joshua. What's going on, family? Good to see you up in here, fam. Warpath, peace. Happy Friday. Sorry it's raining where you are. It's definitely a beautiful day in the DMV. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's only Friday. Hey, hold on already. Joshua wasting no time. If you hadn't noticed, if you go into the goals section, the goal today is to hit 5 super chat. Doesn't matter the amount that y'all contribute. I'm appreciative of whatever, but if we hit 5 super chats today, you will get to hear the Bop Alloy joint that is about to drop exclusively on Bandcamp on Monday. Along with some other big news. So we'll talk about that more in a bit. But yeah, that's what we're pushing for today. Y'all get to hear it some days early if we hit 5 super chats. So just letting y'all know. Thank you again, Josh. Matthew, welcome, fam. Damn, it's only Friday. Man, listen, I wish I felt, well, no, I don't. I'm so happy because, man, like my weeks be crazy. So it definitely... Time was flying this week for me. Philadelphia has a flash flood warning. Sorry to hear that, man. I'm glad to tune in. And oh, man, thank you so much. He said the best online community. I'm eternally grateful, man. I'm thankful for y'all, man. I thank the Most High that I'm blessed with awesome people like y'all who choose to tune in and hang out with me for a little bit. And more importantly, man, like not just that it's just any people. Like I genuinely feel like, the audience that I've been lucky enough to acquire over time with the work I've been putting in is filled with like mostly good folks, man, like genuinely good people. I've been blessed enough where I've done a few shows where I've got to meet some of y'all in person. And yeah, man, we definitely got a great community of folks. So I'm happy that y'all are a part of it. But yeah, man, word. That's what's up. Matthew is from Cincinnati. Cincy in the building, repping. Friday always be the saddest days. Oh man, I that feels terrible. You know what I'm saying? Well, I hope at least the show brings a little bit of joy into your Friday. But I'm sorry, man, to hear that. I'm so mad it's been in the 70s and 80s all week, and now it's going to be in the 40s and 50s almost the next whole week. That's crazy. I got to check to see how it's going to be over here. If it is that cool, man, I'm hoping. I'm a dude that definitely, like, shout out to all my people who are in a different weight class. You know what I'm saying? I am in that 200 weight class. I guess if I was a professional boxer, I'd be considered maybe a heavyweight or a light heavyweight. But yeah, man. So shout out to those of you who know that struggle when this time of year gets here and it starts getting warm and you're just sweating for no reason, like none whatsoever. Shout out to my man Sherm. If he was on the show right now, he would have been sweating 10 minutes ago. Before we were even live, he would have been patting down, bro. You know what I mean? But shout out to my man Sherm. But yeah, man, I definitely am a person who loves cool weather for that reason. And also, like, I just love the fashion. For those who don't know this about me, but I am definitely a like autumn slash fall is probably my favorite season. Not so much because I like it when it's cold, but more so I love the fashion during that time of year. I love layers. I love jackets. I love hoodies. You know what I mean? I like putting together ensembles that aren't just like shirt, pants. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I like layers, bro. Look, it's probably, was it outside? It's 82, but this AC is doing work right now. And so, man, I'm like, how can I feel a little fresher for the show? I'm gonna throw on my Jazz and Blossoms hoodie. Shout out to Words Beat to Life. You know what I mean? Quality joints. But yeah, threw on my Jazz and Blossoms hoodie. Got my little pink beanie out the joint. Shout out to my youngest daughter, Destiny. That's her favorite color. So whenever I rock the pink beanie, she feel like I'm trying to coordinate with whatever she's doing. So, but yeah, man, that's what's up. I appreciate that, fam. Ain't no way it's like in the hundreds over here in Texas. God bless y'all. You know what I mean? Lord. Yo, what's up? I'm going to Japan soon. Any places you'd recommend? Oh shit, you're in the DMV. Same. That's what's up. Okay. Shout out to my DMV family. For those who don't know, we are not talking about the Department of Motor Vehicles. We are talking about DC, Maryland, and Virginia. You know what I mean? So shout out to Kareem out here repping. But yeah, man, if I got to recommend a place in Japan to check out, literally, we got a song called Another Night at Club Family. So check out Club Family if you're a person that likes bars with good DJs and stuff like that. The drinks flowing nonstop. I don't know if you drink. I don't anymore, but it's still a good time even when I'm there sober. But yeah, man, I've been going to Club Family in Tokyo since 2000. So I've been going there for 25 years, man. So definitely check out that bar. When you get there, let them know, I don't know if you speak Japanese or not, but let them know Substantial sent you. You asked Substantial where to go in Japan. He was like, come here. I don't know if that's going to get you a free drink or anything, but I always tell my fam when they go, let them know Substantial sent them that way. I've been going there a long time, man. The name is fitting because they are very much like family. Warpath says, I was there for the Adultish 2.0 watch party. Not sure if you recognize me on it. I figured it was you but folks got different names across different platforms. So it's hard to tell sometimes. Not sure if you recognize me on this but I copped it and it's a banger all the way through. Man, thank you. Thank you so much, man. So for those who don't know, Adultish 2.0 out now. I'm going to go through the rest of these comments and then we'll jump into this joint. Somebody trying to call me right now. I will holler at them after. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Scarf, man, listen, I'm all for the scarves. I got a ridiculous amount of those, crazy amount of hats. Like, different types, jackets, peacoats, like light jackets, little military style joints, little African, print type joints. Bro, diversity in the ensembles. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the autumn for that reason alone. You know what I mean? I do love it when it's cool in the spring, but the problem is I got allergies. So the spring is always rough for me. This spring actually, it's probably been the lightest one I've had in a minute in terms of my allergies now that I think about it. But when it's terrible, fam, for me, oh my God. So that's why I'm picking autumn over spring. Yeah, man. Yeah. Let's see. I used to love winter and fall most, but as I'm getting older, I'm loving the summer more and more. Word. I feel you. There's certain days where there's certain things I love about the summer for sure. Just being out and about, hanging out and all of that. But I'm strictly talking about from the point of view of fashion. Strictly that, you know what I mean? I feel like that's when your boy shines. You know what I mean? Most of the photo shoots I think I've done, I'm probably dressed in a way that implies it was cool outside. You know what I mean? But anyway. Love bars and DJs. I'm down. Club Family is going to be added to the list. Enjoy, family. So Speaking of Adultish 2.0, can we get a shout out for all the people who came to the watch party? Yeah, absolutely, man. I was a part of it, and the remixed album was really good. The last track's my current favorite. Thank you, fam. Man, thank you, nephew. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. Shout out to everyone who attended. That was Wednesday night, I believe. Yeah, man, it was cool hanging out with y'all on Bandcamp. Shout out to those of you who supported it. Let's put this on the screen now so I can make sure I get to this good stuff. Also, quick shout out in case folks didn't see it before. Yeah, man, shout out to the homie HappiMochi, who's one of the many people in this community who did the illustration for today's thumbnail. So good old Chibi Substantial there, you know what I mean, with the grays and all, you know. And to point out what I said about fall fashion, look at that ensemble. You already know. You already know what time of year it is. You know what I'm saying? Nice little jacket, you know, hoodie under the jacket, beanie. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. That's, you know, it is what it is. But I just wanted to make sure we shouted out one of our own, man. Shout out to HappiMochi. Shout out to Aria. Thank you so much for the art. You killed it. All right. But yeah, let's cue this up real quick. Boom, boom. Switch to that. Shazam. And then boom. So we already been talking about it, but let's go back to these comments real quick. Hold on. All right. Let me know if the stream is still coming through all right for most of y'all. It appears that Joshua said the stream cut him off. So hopefully it didn't cut off for everybody else. It appears to be good on my end, but y'all just confirm for me if you don't mind. Yeah, I go by Chi-Town Warrior on most platforms now. Might even change it on here. Good to know. Duly noted. All right. How did I not notice I added a second question mark in my previous message? It happens to the best of us. Hey, what up? I just shouted you out. You know what I mean? What up, HappiMochi? Yeah, man. I just okay, cool. Glad it looks good to you. But yeah, I was just shouting you out because I used your chibi art for the thumbnail today. So we were just showing you love. Thank you again, sis. Everybody loves those whenever they see them. So thank you so much for contributing that. I appreciate you. All right. Let's get back to the chat. Stand with the purple and pink coordination. Most dudes can't pull that off. Man, I am not most men. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'm very comfortable in my skin, fam, and I love a wide variety of colors. I mean, my favorite color is orange. But yo, I'm a super Prince fan, super duper Prince fan. I'm not sure how many records back there are Prince records, but I have more than a few. I got a bunch of his records, a bunch of his CDs. So I've always been a fan of purple. Fun fact about me, middle school, when we had the middle school dance, the 8th grade dance, right? Where we all got dressed up, you know what I mean? You know, this is back in the day. So like we came to the joint, we had suits on. It was like a little mini prom situation. 8th grade, your boy show up in like a plum colored suit. You know what I'm saying? Like most people in there with black suits, maybe a gray suit. I'm in that joint with like a purple colored suit. Had the crazy tie with this like floral pattern with the pocket square. Even, listen, I was looking like John Witherspoon and stuff because when I opened up the jacket, even the suspenders had the same pattern. I was doing the most. But yeah, man, I've always been a fan of a wide variety of colors. So I'm definitely not a dude who shies away from rocking bright colors, you know. But I appreciate you appreciating that. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Of course, sis, you know I got you. I would donate today, but I was already pushing buying the album. Gotta conserve till next Friday. All love. Man, it's all love. So I wanted to just point out something real quick today. Today in the super chat, if anyone contributes, we've already got one. We're 4 away from hitting our goal. If anyone contributes today, and it doesn't have to be a lot of money, it could be $1. It's fine. Whatever you decide to contribute is always appreciated over here. But for those of you who can, our goal is to hit 5. And today I will play the Bop Alloy single that's about to drop on Monday, along with some other big news that's coming on Monday. So I will tell y'all all about that in a second. All right. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. All right. So a quick reminder, Adultish 2.0 is out right now. If you do not have it yet, what are you doing? No, I'm playing. If you don't have it yet, that is all love, man. It's all good. If you can support, please do. Here is the link for it right now. Hey, thank you so much, sis. Clap it up. All right. Favorite subject in school? Great question. My favorite subject in school, outside of art in particular, like when I got to high school, my focus was printmaking. So printmaking in high school was my favorite. So it was pretty much like my major. I went to a performing arts school. So printmaking, I've done mostly linoleum cuts, but I've also done what's it called, etching, where basically you're basically carving a design into a zinc plate and then applying ink to that. It's a really complicated technique, but I learned to do that in high school. I've done woodcut as well, as opposed to the linoleum, and there's another technique I know how to do, which is kind of like silk screen, but it's different. It's like basically rolling. You take like this mylar, like this clear material that's like a plastic, but it's like thicker, and you basically roll ink across that material, and then you literally work backwards. Like instead of adding ink into a drawing or drawing with the ink, you literally you spread the ink or the paint across that material, and then you use different types of tools to take the paint away, right? Or the ink away. And that basically allows you to like create this like beautiful piece. So if y'all remind me before the show is over, I'll show y'all like my online portfolio. So y'all can see some of not just the graphic design stuff I do, but some of the printmaking stuff I've done. I don't have all of my old work, but I can show y'all some of my fine art stuff that I've done over the years. And fun fact, the Bop Alloy cover is for the second album, the cover with Saxophone Jones. That's actually a linoleum cut. Like I drew on a piece of linoleum. It's like tile or whatever, like the backside of like tile that would go on the floor. And after drawing on that, I hand carved that out. Right. So that cover art there is based on an actual a print that I did around that time and stuff. And if you went to those shows back in the day when we were touring for that project, I was literally selling the prints. I did a whole bunch of different prints on different types of paper that I was selling at the shows and stuff, which was pretty cool. Might have to, man. Yeah, we'll see. I might bring something like that back because I love doing printmaking. All right, let's go. Thank you for the question, sis. I appreciate it. All right. Kevin says, peace all. Sorry, can't stay. A job came up, but hope y'all have a great weekend. Appreciate you, Kev. All right, thank you, man. Right, I hit. I wish mine hit on Thursday. That's what's up. Oh, you're talking about direct deposits. I know how that go. Who's counting? Y'all are hilarious. But thanks again for the contribution. The Council of Cabs in the building. All right. We always have to rep it here. That's what's up. Get back to work soon. Hey, brother, have a good one, man. Hope to see you soon, bro. Would like to donate, but the super chat is not available on my end. The Words Beats of Life icon instead. Interesting. Anybody else where that's a problem, let me know. But yeah, I appreciate it. I'll tell you what though, if Aquarian, if you make a contribution to the Words Beats and Life thing, that's fine. I'll get updated when that happens. So I will count that toward the 4 super chats. All right. That's how we doing it. Any contributions like that come through, I'm going to count toward playing the joint. That's how we'll do it going forward. It's just when I set the goal on the YouTube channel, I can't really do all of the different things. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, question. We know. Well, first of all, thank you. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for all the contributions. We know your youngest favorite song. What's your eldest favorite? That's a great question. I don't know. I know she likes a couple different bands and acts and stuff like that. But what was really dope though was watching her become more of a Kendrick fan as this whole battle played out. Because of course we would play Kendrick around the house and stuff like that, and or when we're traveling and stuff. So she was familiar, but she didn't start doing deep dives into Kendrick Lamar stuff until the battle happened. So when she discovered like his albums and started listening to the lyrics, it was dope. It was dope being able to talk to her about this stuff, especially now that she's in high school and has a deeper understanding of like the messages and stuff like that. So, playing songs like Pride and stuff from the Damn album, and then watching her just like singing along or whatever and being hyped that the song came on. I'm like, oh my God, look what I helped raise. Look who I helped raise. But yeah, man. Yeah. So she likes a lot of different stuff. Shout out to her for she's the one that put me onto the band Jungle. I don't know if any of y'all listen to Jungle. They're super dope. But yeah, my oldest daughter put me on the Jungle. I wasn't familiar with them until she put me on. But I know she loves them. There's another band that she plays their stuff for me all the time that she's dope. Yeah. Yo, too real. Look at my face. I had gray when she was born, but I definitely didn't have this much gray when she was born. So, yeah, she's on her way. I love screen printing in graphic design school. I'd love to do more of it. Yeah, it's a fun medium to work with for me. Knock on wood, I've never cut myself. In all the years I've been doing it, I've never cut myself. And so, yeah, man. And I've been doing printmaking since I was 13. So yeah, man. Have a great weekend, Kev. All right. Hey, what up? My sister's in here. What up, Stacy? Hope you're having a great week. We're gonna see each other in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Hopefully, we can still link up in 2 weeks. All right. Love you. Hope you're having a great one. Have an amazing weekend. All right. All right. Let's see. Hey, what up? Man. The Council of Kevs is deep. That's what's up. That's what's up. Favorite rapper. Froat sounds crazy. I appreciate y'all, man. Another Kevin. I must pass the baton because I have to dip. That's what's up. Y'all can't all be in the same space at once, apparently, All right. Likewise, sis. Likewise. I sent the donation to Words, Beats, and Life. Yes, I see it. Thank you so much. Clap it up for you. All right. And I'm going to talk to y'all about some more stuff with Words, Beats, and Life too. And another way y'all can contribute for those of you who are able to do so. But yeah, man. But once again, Adultish 2.0 out right now. Here's the link I mentioned a while ago, but never posted. Listen/download now. Shazam. Boom. So yeah, man, definitely check out the latest project if you can. Beats from AJ Rios, who I spoke to earlier today. Shout out to him. Beats from AJ Rios. Also from K Murdoch, J Soul, Jimmy HD, Coke High, man. Coke High went in on the joint. Shout out to him. But yeah, man. And look, we hit our goal in the super chats on top of having the donation as well to Words, Beats, and Life. Thank you so much, family. I appreciate you. Well, I thank y'all for helping me reach the goal today. So we'll definitely be hearing the new Bop Alloy joint in a second. But let's answer this question real quick, and then we'll finish talking about Adultish 2.0. Question: I have a project that's been in the works. Are you open to making music pieces for games? Are you interested in animated music videos? Yes and yes. For those who don't know, and I don't know if you know this, but I've actually made music for a couple of games. I've made at least 6 songs for Arc Knights, 2 songs for PUBG Mobile. Is it 3? 4? I don't know. At least 2 songs for Mobile Legends. And then there's a couple of other smaller games. One of my favorites to this day, which was supposed to come out on the Switch, but hasn't. But it's on Steam. Is a song I did for an indie game called Renane. You know what? Today after I play the joint, after I play the Bop Alloy joint, I'll play the song I did for Renane. But yes, I'm interested in what you're asking about. You can hit me up through my website, iamsubstantial.com. Go through the contact page and reach out. I will try my best to get back as soon as possible. I am terrible sometimes at getting back to people. So if you don't hear back from me in a certain period of time, just do a follow-up. I'll do my best to reply as soon as I can. I'm working on, while simultaneously working on getting better at replying to people quickly or quicker. I'm also working on being more present, right? Because I have moments where like I'm getting a ridiculous amount of messages, like right now while we're live and stuff. Text messages are coming through, other things. So I'm working on myself to be more present when people are, when I'm with people, when I'm out and about, when I'm with my family and all of that. And that sometimes basically means that a message will come through, and rather than responding almost as quick as I see it, because I know I'm gonna forget later, I'll see the notification and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna hit them back later. And then later it becomes like a week, 2 weeks, because by the time I get to sit down at the email or on my emails and start going through it, I've received like 20, 30 emails since that last one came through. So, doing my best, man. I'm not completely a one-man army, but most days I'm on my one-man army stuff for a lot of the things I do. So it is difficult to stay on top of everything perfectly, but I'm doing my best. So I appreciate your patience in advance. All right. Warpath says, I got a good question for Stan. For now or later, what would you say are some of the greatest feats you've accomplished in your life? Damn. Greatest feats I've accomplished ever. Oh man. First and foremost, man, I think about like my relationships, like in terms of what I've done with my household and my family, my wife, being with her for going on 26 years, man. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like that's one of the greatest accomplishments ever. And it hasn't been perfect, you know what I mean? But like it's been amazing though. So definitely that. Our children, looking at what they're doing, man. Shout out to Serenity, clap it up for her. She just got her grade, her score from this state test that she took. And I think the passing score was like a 400 out of 600. And I think her score was like 550 something. And so, yeah, man, she completed it with like at a 91% or something like that. So I just look at who my children are, what type of people they are, what they've managed to accomplish, and in their short time on this planet, and knowing what my contribution to that has been. I'm probably most proud of that in the relationship, right? So like that I have with my wife. So to me, just being real, because everything else y'all see from me is a reflection of like my love for them, right? And so like when you look at my work ethic and stuff, it's not to say I didn't work hard before I met my wife. I did. I don't think she'd be with me if I wasn't a hard worker. But definitely, I think part of the reason why I work as hard as I do why they're also like the inspiration for a lot of the music I make and stuff like that. And I keep them in mind even when I'm doing songs that aren't about them, because I know, like they are attached to this legacy. So making sure I'm putting out the best representation of myself as I move through life and stuff. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like, I know that maybe not the answer folks was expecting, because of course there's like a bunch of other things, right, that I can mention. Like, I think accomplishing what I've accomplished and making the type of living that I make on my own terms without a college degree and stuff. I mean, hell, even the college I got accepted to it's considered like an Ivy League school amongst, when we talk about art schools, right? Like, it's amongst some of the top schools in the world. So whether I graduated or not, even being accepted into the program, and I wasn't put out of the school, I left on my own terms. I left because I got a record deal, right? So I feel like there's a lot of things I accomplished, but none are more important than those things. And the next big thing is, hopefully this time next year, I'll be really close to, I'm working toward getting this house, man, and making it so my mom can move back up to this area and live with us. So, still, man, out here still accomplishing big things, still hitting goals and all of that, and really proud of what I've built. And in spite of all, and not in spite of, but like in regardless, even with all of those things, man, like, I'm very clear that I'm a work in progress too. Like, I'm still very like focused on how I can be a better person. Like, I've been saying this a lot out loud lately, as I've been working toward getting this house for my mom. It's like, yo, I'm working real hard to be a better son. So like, that's part of my motivation for doing this. There's a line on the new Bop Alloy album that y'all will hear that literally kind of touches on something that I think about all the time, right? And so, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah. But anyway, I can go on this particular job. I'm missing a whole lot of comments, but shout out to Warpath, man. I feel like you were a journalist in your other life, or maybe that's the next journey for you, fam. 100% recommend working with Stan. I have worked with him in the past, and he comes through with the quality and professional assist. Thank you so much. Shoot him an email with your vision and get the ball going. Yeah, thank you, sis. I appreciate the cosign. Hey, listen, she's a great human being and an amazing person to work with. So that recommendation from her means a lot, regardless if y'all know or not. If you knew who she was outside of just this space, she's dope in this space too. But in terms of the quality person that she is in real life, like, that recommendation is pretty amazing. So sis, thank you. I appreciate that. Man, I need a reminder to listen to your video game tracks and by extension, the rest of your discography. Thank you. Enjoy, nephew. Sure thing. Thanks. All right. Yeah, man. Shout out to Super Serenity. It was her night to cook earlier this week when we got the news. And so we typically try to eat out mostly like weekends, not like during the week unless we're super busy. But I was like, man, pick what we having tonight. You take the night off. You worked hard. We appreciate it. All right. Yeah, she does. All right. Apple doesn't fall far from the trees, man. Appreciate it. No surprise. Ren is a beast in education considering who her parents are. Thank you, family. Means a lot. Hey, what up, Matthew? I think I just saw a notification from you when I went into my meeting this morning, man. Good to see you up here too, fam. Yo, Matthew Barrett is like diehard fan supporter, like from the Q&5 days. He's been rocking with the fam and supporting our music for a very long time. So thank you. Common is re-releasing B for the 20th anniversary with unreleased tracks. Oh yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Speaking of schools and test scores, do you know your IQ sub? I feel like it'd be pretty high. I honestly don't know. I have a question for you pertaining to live shows. Do you use earplugs when performing to protect your hearing? I went to a live show last night, Talib Kweli, and my ears took a serious beating. I don't. I've been lucky most of the time where, like the folks I've worked with mostly at the shows have been pretty good at like making the sound loud enough on stage where it's like I can hear everything. Most importantly, hear myself. Oftentimes when I'm on stage and when we are leveling out the monitors for the performance, the beat, I don't have the beat like blaring super loud. Like I don't need the beat to be super loud. I just need it to be loud enough where I can hear like the core parts of it, like hear where the snare is falling, maybe a little of the kick, whatever. Like it doesn't need to be super loud, just loud enough where I can hear it. The thing that needs to be loudest for me is my voice, right? And so because of that, it helps me not just preserve my hearing, but oftentimes preserve my voice too. If any of y'all have seen me live a few times, especially when I've been on tour, you probably met me with the super raspy voice. And that's because I have this really deep voice that in loud settings is hard to be heard. So if I just talk with if I just chill out and I just talk to you like this, which is how I sound most of the time, I only really sound like I was sounding a second ago when I'm either speaking on the phone or speaking to a group of people. But typically this is how I sound, right? So because of that, when I'm in a loud setting, it's hard for people to hear me. So I oftentimes got to speak like this so they can hear me over the music and blah blah blah. So imagine being the type of person I am where I'm damn near at the merch booth for like an hour plus sometimes, just making time for fans. And then on top of that, like if I'm passing through the venue before that and music's blaring, like people are trying to talk to me and I'm a talker. So I usually will make time. But when you talk that much and on top of that, you're doing hour-long sets, it's easy to blow your voice out. And on top of like your ears taking a beating. So I say all that to say I rarely use earplugs at shows. I use earplugs more for sleeping. Like when I'm on tour, I either use earplugs or like I'll put some music in. I'll set some music up or whatever. Put in like my AirPods or whatever. I don't have it super loud, but just loud enough where like, I can't hear like the background noise in the joint, especially like if it's one of them rare times where like I'm on the road with somebody else and then we're sharing a room. It's like a double situation. Yeah, bro, I ain't trying to hear nothing you got going on. Hey, yo, like nothing. So I'll turn them joints on, lay to my side and just be out. But I've been lucky for the most part. I think the worst issue I had with sound in my ears, like maybe receiving a little bit of damage in that moment, is I went shooting with my cousins. And we had different types of joints. You got duck shots, you got buck shots and stuff like that. And then this particular shotgun that my cousin has, that he had me try out, they had like these really loud rounds. The joint was really powerful, but the rounds were like louder than normal. It's kind of a way to not just it does a lot of damage when it hits you, but also like the sound is enough that whoever had a problem, they probably reconsidering once one shot go. Fam, I shot that gun one time and literally I had earplugs in, man. I shot that thing one time and it was just like, yo, nope. It's like, bow. The kick was one thing. I'm not a lightweight, so like, the kick was whatever, but it was so loud, fam, that with the earplugs and everything else, I literally, after I shot that joint, I was just like, yeah, bro, tilt the joint down. I was like, please take that. I'm good. Hard pass. Yeah, don't put any more of those slugs in that joint. Pass it to me. But yeah, bro, it's crazy. I'm pretty sure that is not where y'all were expecting the joint, the conversation to go, but it is what it is. Let's see. Do you have a favorite verse or song that holds the most meaning to you? I got a few, man. It's funny though. The first one that came to me, and I feel like I might have talked about it on the live before. It's not my favorite song of all time, but I think about this group called the Boogie Monsters, who were out when I was in high school. They're super dope, by the way. Highly recommend y'all check them out. The Boogie Monsters, they had this song. This was the first song I heard from them called Recognize Thresholds of Negative Stress. That's the real title, which is super dope. and then their other song Strange. But the joint, when I got the album, that was the one that really stuck with me. It's kind of like Common's I Used to Love Her, and it's called Music Appreciation. And I'm pretty sure I've spit this on the show, but like I still to this day know every word of that joint. But it was like my favorite joint on the album. I took it, I used it as a part of this poetry project I had to do at school and had to deliver it in front of the whole class and stuff. But definitely check it out. Joint's fire. I'm obsessed with her. I'm my best with her. Thickness surrounds me. I'm blessed by her. See, got fallen so deep. Deep, who will she be? Infatuated with the many, many styles of she. I wish I could caress her. I wish I could undress her like she does my soul, but I am so much lesser. Always there for me when I need her, like my mom's relaxing on my drama. I fall into her arms. It's a fact. Hey, man, fam, that song is dope. It's super dope. And I think it resonated so much with me. Where Common's joint, he's talking about hip hop, but this dude is specifically talking about music, right? And yeah, man, like I felt that joint so much because that's what music has been for me, right? Like it's been transformative. It's literally changed my life. Like it filled voids in my life, man. Like me not having consistent like older men around to really be able to kind of help me along my journey from like from my early years to now. It's always like been like a variety of men over time that have come in my life, come into my life and contributed in different ways, right? Like for brief periods of time. And so with hip hop, like, it gave me like additional big brothers to kind of listen to, right? And then, luckily I was blessed with a certain amount of discernment to be able to kind of know who were the big brothers to listen to. Or listen to a particular way, understand which some of this is just entertainment versus like some of this is life lessons. So yeah, man. So that's why that song resonates so much with me because like, yeah, man, like when people say things like hip hop raised me, and I know that sounds like a crazy statement to some people if you're a person who only thinks about the stereotypes associated with hip hop culture, not just rap music, but hip hop culture. But as somebody who's been a part of real hip hop stuff, which sounds cliche when people say real hip hop, but I've been at b-boy jams, right? Like I've been hanging out with graph artists, right? I used to do graffiti myself. Spending time with DJs. So many of these people in the communities are like my big brothers. They're real loved ones. And so, yeah, man, like how it's transformed my life, how music has transformed my life, and then how hip hop culture has transformed my life. That's why that song resonates so much. But thank you for the question. All right, real quick, I just wanted to show this to y'all before we move on and not spend too much more time here. Let's bring this up. Share screen. So if y'all have not seen my Bandcamp recently, you know that Bandcamp allows you to customize it and all of that and do updates. So I just wanted to show y'all real fast. Let's switch to view. Let's remove that and then add this. So yeah, man. So I customized my Bandcamp channel recently. So check it out. All right. Yeah, man. Shout out to Aria again, man. Shout out to HappiMochi. I use some of her characters and stuff like that to update the channel. I hope y'all dig it, how it looks and stuff, man. Super proud of how it came out. But some basic things, man. Some basic updates. But yeah, you know what I mean? So it's the little things. But again, Adultish 2.0 out right now. You can stream it and download it on Bandcamp, substantial.bandcamp.com. You can head over there, check that out. But let's go ahead and remove that and get this back up on the screen. Shazam. All right, let's keep it pushing. Hold on. I'm trying to make sure I got. Okay, hold up. More questions. Says wearing earplugs with noise canceling headphones should be the new standard when attending live shows or concerts. To be honest, I don't get how people can tolerate loud noises. It's so disorienting. Yeah, I think for certain people, right, like, it's definitely more intense than others. I think for me, I've been in certain settings so much that it makes me think of a Keith Murray rap line where he's like, I need beer and a lot of noise in my ear and a rowdy atmosphere to even think clear. Like, that line is so crazy. Right? Like, in other words, I need chaos. I need chaos around me in order to kind of just be able to focus. And some people are like that. Like, some people kind of handle I think those situations a bit better. Sometimes it's your upbringing, like what you came up around. Other times it's like, like we're all a little bit different, right? In different ways. So for some people, it's the norm. For other people, it's like, yo, I can't do this. And I think for me, and I just talked to my wife about this, like one of the things I got to talk to my doctor about, right? Like I feel like I've been dealing with some type of anxiety issues lately. Like, with this job that I started with Words, Beats, and Life, I just started like really consistently riding the train again. Like where it's a couple times a week, not every day, but a couple times a week. And for whatever reason, man, whenever I get on the train, I'm good for the most part. But when we get to one of the junctions where I got to switch trains, or like other people come on the train, and when the train starts to get really, really packed, keep in mind, I lived in New York for 10 years, so I'm used to this, and I grew up down here, so I'm used to the train being like this. But I didn't realize how little I've ridden the train, I guess, over the last like 10 years. And so just getting adjusted to being a commuter and being in that experiencing all of that again, like, yeah, like my body kind of responded a weird way. So like, I'll be fine just chilling, listening to music, writing, listening to an audio book, reading a book, something. And then every time I get to the same area of like on the train, like, yo, like my heartbeat goes up a little bit, like my chest tightens, you know what I mean? Like my body just feels different. And then when I get off the train, it takes a little minute, but then I'm back to normal before I walk into the office or before I get home. But that's been a real experience of mine that I've been dealing with lately. So it's been different to say the least. And so I definitely want to talk to my doctor about it and see if it's just like a anxiety thing more than anything. And I've been feeling like this when I go to sleep sometimes too. Like, shout out to those of you who struggle to get sleep sometimes because you're always thinking about all the stuff you got to do. And so, yeah, it's been an issue when I've been trying to go to sleep where it's like, yo, like I feel like it almost feels like someone just taking their hands and just leaning forward, like putting them on your chest and then just leaning forward. Or even my neck at times, like, yo, it's crazy, fam. Like, I don't know what the shit. I don't know what the shit. I'm laughing about the shit. I know it's real, but yeah, man. So, I definitely feel you. Like certain settings, certain whatever, like we all respond to it different ways. You know what I mean? Let's see. Matt says, pretty sure I left the show last night. My Uber driver thought I was yelling. Quietly killed it, but that was the first time my ears hurt that bad after going to a show. Nah, I feel you. You definitely have that radio voice. Thank you. I saw a clip on IG of you and Tone headbanging to your music. Hilarious. Do you guys still play each other your new stuff before releasing it often? Absolutely. That particular night, that's exactly what we were doing. I got to hear a lot of Tone's new project. I played Tone most of the new Bop Alloy album. We also, shout out to Tone. He mixed and mastered Javier's project. He just finished that, by the way. So now we're in the next steps, trying to secure the record deal for Javier to get it released and stuff. Yeah, because it's still going to be an independent company, but a company that has a bit more reach than we have, just to give the record a bit more shine and hopefully get it some more pub and get it acknowledged in some of the game spaces too. You know what I mean? Super dope. Let's see. What was the hardest track to write? Just knowing your discography, I would guess Wish You Were Here. Woo. So yeah. Tracks are hard to write for different reasons. I would say a track that was harder to write than that was a song I did on Nitsua's album called Withdrawn. If you haven't heard that song, highly recommend you check it out. But that was a hard one to write because I wrote it about my niece, my sister Lisa on my mom's side. I always got to give that disclaimer because I have two sisters named Lisa. So my sister Lisa on my mom's side, um, unfortunately, her youngest daughter passed away. When I was in high school and stuff, when I was a freshman, and yeah, man, that was traumatic to say the least for the whole family. Um, and so I wrote a song where where I spend a lot of time talking about that in that song. So that hands down, in terms of like from an emotional standpoint, was hands down the hardest song to write. Now, in terms of actual difficulty, I would say it's probably any like a couple of the different EFAM collaborations that we did, Extended Fam. Songs like the song called Selly. Like if you look up Extended Fam, Selly, we literally play the telephone game, but through rhyme, right? And it's basically us trying to link up, and there's all this confusion because the signal keeps breaking up. And yeah, like that song was, Tone says it was like close to 80 tracks or something crazy, like 40 or 80 tracks, because there's sound effects, there's us coming in at different parts. There's like we wrote our own parts in some cases, and then every now and then we're writing parts for other people. Like literally, I wish people could see how it was written, but this is pre-Google Drive, right? In Google Docs. But we were basically emailing a Word document back and forth that was color coded. So we knew who was going with what. And then we had like little synopsis breakdowns in the notes and stuff that was telling people, like giving suggestions on which direction to take it. So that one was hard to write. And then so was Sign Language from Sacrifice. That one was difficult to write too. That one took a while to write, me, Pack, and Tone. So yeah, those two particular tracks are the ones that come to mind in terms of level of difficulty in writing, that part of Ghost in a Cell is genuinely emotional. Nearly drove me to tears upon re-listening to the song a few times. It's my new favorite track. Yo, thank you. Yeah, that particular track I feel like is the one that like when I finished it, like I had to step back and was just like, yo, yeah, that was another hard one to write. For a couple different reasons, but yeah, I completely agree. Once I heard the track, it was definitely soulful and deep, deep with a touch of heartbreak in the lyrics. Word. Rest in peace to Uncle George, man. I'm into rock almost as much as hip hop, and I want my hearing intact in my later life. So earplugs are a must for me at concerts. I feel you. Let's go, Hav. Yes. I know when I asked you before, you said you're a rapper first, producer second. However, could you ever see yourself getting to a point where you like producing more than writing? No shot at any producers who see this, but for me, producing is easier than writing. And I say that largely because, I'm not as critical when I'm critical with certain aspects of it in terms of what sounds I want to use, how I want to build it out, like trying to figure out if this works versus that. And then the whole process sometimes of bringing musicians in, like, sure, it's difficult in those ways, but I'm far more critical of myself, like as a writer, right? Like I've written so many rhymes that, sometimes I don't give myself the pass, right? To be like, hey, you can put some filler there. Like, there's a song I wrote recently where I kind of loosened up a little bit, and I was just like, yo, it doesn't have to be a complete sentence, right? I can make, and I've done that before where like, you kind of chop up how it's said so it works, so it flows better, and all of that. But yeah, I'm definitely tough on myself as a writer. So I just think the writing process for me sometimes is a bit more challenging in that way. So that's why I say like I'm a writer first and foremost, or a rapper first and foremost, or a lyricist, right? And with the production stuff, like I can see myself doing more production at some point, but even then I'm still always going to view myself as a a rapper first and foremost and stuff, Love Withdrawn. It hits hard, but it's beautiful and speaks to my soul. Always said it was a sister to a song to Ghost in the Cell. So yeah, for sure. Like Ghost in the Cell, Withdrawn. Wish You Were Here from The Past Is Always Present in the Future. Fun fact: the Wish You Were Here and Ghost in the Cell. Ghost in the Cell is actually a sequel. The only reason why I didn't put Wish You Were Here Part 2 is because the title would have just been ridiculously long. So I was just like, yeah, nah, we'll just call it Ghost in the Cell. Do you think perfectionism ruins creativity? It can sometimes, but sometimes it leads people to maybe doing something that maybe we've never seen done before or heard done before, right? So like your ability to push yourself towards excellence sometimes, like, helps you break new ground in moments. And other times it keeps you from keeps you from finishing something that's already great. You know what I mean? But because it doesn't sound the way you had in mind, right? Or doesn't feel the way you want it to feel yet. We obsess over that type of thing. But that's why I love the quote that says, art isn't finished, it's only abandoned. I love that quote because we could work on songs, we could work on visual art pieces forever. Like there's certain things I start that never have to really be finished, right? I mean, if you think of like Shingo 2 with the lovesick thing, right? Where like the hexology and how it's like just this idea just kind of continuing on and of course changing over time. But when we do songs that are sequels, this is a quote Tone hit me with. I forget where he got it from, but he was basically saying that most musicians are literally just making the same, like from album to album, they're mostly making the same album again and again and just finding they're like perfecting it over time, right? I would say, I don't know if that's true with every artist, but when he said that in that moment, I looked at the themes of most of my albums and I was like, man, I've been making the same album. My solo albums are, it's, because they're personal and just about my journey at the moment and my growth as a person and obviously what role my family plays in that. It's just me building on the same ideas and hopefully getting better at it. But just kind of revisiting certain ideas and being like, all right, let me take another stab at it. Right. So yeah. Wow, I'm tough on myself. Let me take this down for a second. Tough on myself when I write as well. Granted, the writing I do is for telling stories, but I suppose perfectionism is another thing that I've inherited from some of my family. Absolutely. I think, I would say to my students all the time, right? I encourage them to do something and they'd be like, oh, that's going to be, it might be a little tough, blah, blah, blah. And then I would always say to them, I'm like, why wouldn't you want to be great? Right. And so I think when you're on the verge of greatness, right? Or like, there's a certain point where like you're writing something and it's like, and it starts out and it's just like, meh. And then over time you write something like, wait a minute, that's pretty solid, right? Or that's pretty good. And then one day you share something with somebody, or one day you write something and you read over it and you look at it and you be like, damn, yeah, that's great. And I think once you felt that, like for me at least, the moment I wrote something and could say with no doubt whatsoever, like, yo, this is pretty fucking great. Like this right here. Like, and it was to the point where like nobody couldn't tell me shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, before I even played it for people, it's like, yeah, I'm about to play this joint, but damn. You know what I mean? Like I was convinced. Right. So it didn't really matter what was said to me after. Like I've been on this journey longer than anyone else. You understand? Like it's my art. So no one really knows it better than me, what the journey has been, what I had to do to accomplish what I've accomplished, this, that, and the third. So when I get that feeling, I mean, you're always going to have somebody you share it with who disagrees. And I think it matters once it once it's released to the public. But when it's still mine and I have it privately and stuff like that, yeah, if I'm convinced, I'm good. But sometimes you become harder to convince. And that's where the perfectionism thing comes in, right? Where like you've been present for this whole journey. So even when you write something that's pretty good, there's a part of you is like, yeah, but it's not as good as this. And I feel like I'm better than that now. So then you push yourself to make it better, right? Or you push yourself to try these things and experiment. And you're not always rewarded for that, because sometimes people liked it when it was simpler. They liked it when, I mean, when I look at songs like Blessing It, Think Different, and other songs I've written that are like as big as they are, the closest thing to hit records that I have, right? I'm often surprised at how, in the grand scheme of things, in my discography in particular, like they're not the most complicated songs to write. They're not the most challenging. They're not the most whatever, but the ideas that they were built around resonate with people. And so you learn to respect the fact that, you achieve the goal with that particular approach. And sometimes it can be duplicated. Most of the time it's hard to kind of, lightning doesn't always strike twice or whatever in those situations. So you just kind of continue on your journey and find other ways to recreate these moments. And a lot of times it's unconscious. Most of the time when I'm sitting down, I don't sit down with the objective to write a song that's better than Blessing It, or write a song that's better than City Lights, or Think Different, or blah, blah, blah. That's the furthest thing from my mind. I'm not thinking about it at all. But you definitely, when you create something that is special, you hope, you pray. It was like, man, I really hope y'all see this for what it is, or how great this thing, the things that I see in it and that I love, like I hope others see it too. And then you realize it's very much like raising kids, right? Your kid is your kid. So it's never going to be as special to other people as they are to you. So just remembering that. And then I think, like with collaborations versus like the songs I make, like the songs I make for like my solo albums, oftentimes those are like my children, right? Where the songs I make for other people's projects, those are kind of like my students, or like maybe like cousins, right? Who we're close and I love them and stuff. But of course, I don't love them the way I love my actual children. You know what I mean? And so I think, yeah, I could go on this forever. Clearly, I've been talking about this for a minute. But yeah, yo, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, listen. I feel like we going deep today. You know what I mean? I like this, but I'm about to pause the comments I'm gonna pause addressing the comments in a second, because I want to play the joint. So that way, if anybody else got a dip, I want to make sure the people who contributed today, who are still here, can actually hear what they contributed to. But Still Think Different always makes me a bit emotional. It's a beautiful song, but I can't listen to it too often at the same time for that reason. Now, I feel that. As a chronic perfectionist, I've learned from trial and error that there's different interpretations of what it means to be perfect. Trying to be flawless will break you for sure. Indeed. All right. But striving to be better than you were in the past is what I call ideal form of perfection. Word. Sign Language was crazy. That's one of my favorite tracks from Sacrifice. Thank you, fam. All right. Sign Language and QT as well. Hell, that whole album is off the chain. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, brother. That reminds me of another question I wanted to ask you. How often do you listen to some of your old songs and think I should have / could have said this? All the time. All the time. There's very few moments where I hear this joint like, nah, this is it. This was perfect. Like more recently, like when I play Ghost in the Cell, when that joint goes off, I'm like, couldn't have done any better. You know what I'm saying? Like I listen to that joint and be like, nah, couldn't have done any better. When I listen to 1580 on Adultish, Of course, after receiving T. Lucas' verse, I'm like, oh, I need to go rewrite my whole joint. And then after talking with T, he told me, he was like, bro, don't do that. He's like, I love your verse so much, man. Like, and he started to go through breaking down the different things that he caught in my verse. And it's one of them things, like, sometimes the disadvantage of being the type of writer that I am is I have these moments where I'll say things that on the surface sound like one thing, but I'm really kind of doing some other things with it. And oftentimes it goes unnoticed. Like, it goes unnoticed maybe a lot more than people realize. That's why I like doing the lyric breakdowns. Yeah, man. But like, that's one of those verses that I loved that verse. And then I heard his verse, and his verse made me miss that moment in our lives so much. And I was like, yeah, my verse definitely didn't create that feeling. But I think overall, it works for the song. Like, it creates this buildup, and you learn to be confident enough in your work that, like, yo, I don't, just because it's my song, I don't have to have the best verse, right? Even if he kills it and people think his verse is better than mine, which, hell, even I think that. Like, even in that moment, I produced the beat. My beat inspired what he wrote, right? My concept for the song inspired what he wrote. And that's really what writing the song is about, right? So sometimes, like, when people are like, oh, his verse, oh, he killed you on your own song. I'm like, this ain't a battle, right? Like, we're on the same team. You know what I'm saying? That's like someone saying Julius Randle outplayed Ant-Man. What are you talking about? It don't matter did they win? The team won. They play for the same team. So at the end of the day, if his verse goes crazier than mine, but it's our song together, right? And his verse elevates the song, right? He took the concept I gave him, heard my verse, heard the beat that I produced, and then was like, yo, and he's out of here. That's the equivalent of me throwing an alley-oop, fam. And that's a win. So that's what you kind of learn over time, right? To humble yourself and realize it's like, yo, every song, it ain't got to be my verse that takes away the whole joint. Because I know how dope I am, right? And so you learn to be like, yo, to make space for other things. So that was one of those moments that, like, I'll hear the song and be like, I could have maybe done a bit more to blah, blah, blah. And I did go back into that verse and tweak it a little bit more to make it feel like home or talk about things specific to home. And it's wild because there's homies that don't realize, like, certain clothing brands that I'm shouting out in my verse. It's Rugged Wear, we struggle through the madness. Rugged Wear, that's a clothing brand from the DMV from back in the day when we were growing up. And so was Madness, right? Like, and so there's so many subtle things that just sound like regular lyrics. And I'm slow flowing it versus, like, he's hitting you with the multi-syllabic, like, quick flow. Like, they're very dope. Like, it's a dope dichotomy that I think we create on the joint. And that's why I think overall the song works so well. There's a build up, and then there's this crescendo, and then it just kind of brings you down and lets the music just kind of wash over you. Has some nostalgic moments in it. You know what I mean? I feel like that's great. So yeah, so I feel like that's great songwriting, right? Like, overall, top to bottom, from the cuts to the sample selection, all the things, yo. So yeah, so you feel like that in moments, but you realize what it created overall. It all worked out. You know what I mean? Let Me Stay is one of my favorite tracks of yours. Was that a true story? Absolutely not. But fun fact, the dude that produced it was, like, still a teenager. I think he was like maybe 15 or 16 when he made that beat. But yeah, man, I love that song. Still listen to it to this day. Word. Hey, baby, let me stay. I love that joint. Facts. That song still gets heavy play from me. Thank you, family. Don't forget, y'all, like the stream. Yo, thank you. Yeah, be sure to hit that like button right now. We got 20 people watching, but we only have 4 likes. So hit that like button. Keep commenting. I appreciate y'all for participating in the chat. Substance, to me, shouldn't be touched. I love that track. If nothing else, the growth is astonishing. Thank you so much, man. Hey, man, I just love how that song, like, my opening line, I'm the one you don't want to F with. I suggest you practice safe sex. Like, bro, that's like the first bars a lot of people ever heard. That's a hell of a way to start. Be like, all right, what's this guy's? Oh, I'm the one you don't want to with. I suggest you practice safe sex. That was a hell of a way to, get it going, man. There's so many joints. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna shut up. But anyway, let's play this joint. Is Hikari based on a true story? Hikari is like, it's not necessarily like one person. It's like taking multiple like situations I've had over the years with like conversations, meeting dope people, right? You travel, you meet dope people and stuff. Y'all are kind of clicking a little bit. You know what I mean? The vibe is nice and stuff like that. And like if I were single, you know what I mean? Like this might be something, but I'm not, right? And so, it could be something else, but then I also know what comes with it being that, right? And so, yeah, man, it's one of them joints that it's based on like real experiences and stuff, but not necessarily just one particular person. It's just like taking these moments that you've had and just kind of combining them into like one, making multiple moments feel like just one moment in time. You know what I mean? I just imagine you writing a song like Ghost in the Cell saying, "Yo, I killed that shit." Hey man, like I knew when I wrote the hook of that joint, I was just like, "Hey, yo, my gallery is haunted by these ghosts in my cell. They live on in my memory, but it's no citadel. And they disappear every time my skin blackens. Oh, I pray they do. Every time my screen blackens, I hope they're in the cloud and they repenting for their actions. But I know they're still here. I know you with me. My cup runneth over with spirits until it's empty." Hey, bro, like, I feel like that shit was chef's kit. Like when I was done, it's almost like the pen was like on autopilot, fam. Like, I mean, I typed it up. I ain't physically write it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it was almost like an out of body experience. Like almost like you looking at yourself as you do it and being like, damn, bro, you come a long way. And, but yeah, like little lines, like, just the details within that. My gallery is haunted. My gallery, the cell phone picture gallery. My gallery is haunted with these ghosts in my cell, right? Cell phone. Live on in my memory, but it's no citadel, right? Like, fam, like there's a whole lyric breakdown, so I ain't about to redo that right now. But like in that moment where I was like, my cup runneth over with spirits until it's empty. Like, yo, yeah, man, man, really love that song. Shout out to those of you who really appreciate that joint, because I feel like you ever talking to somebody who's going through a loss and they just kind of need to not feel alone in the moment, play that shit for them, man. Yeah, it'd be followed by a lot of fucking tears more than likely, but yeah, that's one of them ones for me. Let's see. As a native New Yorker, my experience living in the city is quite different from other experiences. What did you like and dislike about New York when you lived there? I would say the thing I loved about New York was just like in terms of the resources, the amount of things that I had access to when I was there, the amount of like the people I had access to and how gracious they were with their time. I think of people often think of New York as like this rip and run type of place. And it is a lot of that. But the amount of time that, because of the fact that you are oftentimes ripping and running with other people, right? Like you're on the grind with others. You're not alone in your grind. There's so many people running with you. And the people that I was able to break bread with, run with, and learn from while I was there, in terms of the man it made me, the things I learned professionally, but the things I learned about like just manhood and building relationships, maintaining relationships, and all of that in New York, man. It definitely equipped me for like my next chapter. You know what I mean? And so I'm eternally grateful for that, yo. This is where I start singing New York, New York. So on that note, let me play this Bop Alloy joint. All right. We hit the goal. Let's hear the song. So I'm going to get to the other comments in a second, but I wanted to make sure we play this joint. So some quick Bop Alloy news. Number one, this song that I'm about to play is called One Prize, right? It's called One Prize. I did play a snippet of this song on the show before, but I'm about to play the whole joint for y'all. It's about to drop on Monday, right? Monday. Along with the drop that's happening on Monday, we got some big news. And I'm gonna give y'all a heads up, as I always do here on Substantial Weekly. One of the benefits of watching Substantial Weekly is you find out here first. And that's that, Marcus and I will be doing a show in LA at the Peppermint Club and in July. So all the details and all of that are coming out on Monday, along with this song. The song is going to be exclusively available on Bandcamp at first. All right. So on that note, let's get ready to hear this joint. Song's called One Prize, produced by Marcus D. This is the first single from the upcoming Bop Alloy album entitled Masters of the Artistry. Also, a heads up, we're planning to do a Kickstarter for the band, for the new album, just to make sure we're able to do all the things we want to do with the merch and all of that. And I mean, you saw what we were able to do with the Adultish album, so expect more quality things and all that good stuff. So let's do this. And if you haven't already, be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, please and thank you. Let's cue up the joint. Hold on, I'm gonna do a quick volume check. Let me make sure. Yeah, see. Okay, hold up. Let's see if it loads up. Okay, track is tripping, so hold up. Just refreshing the joint because it didn't start the way it was supposed to. Sorry, y'all. There we go. All right, do me a favor in the comments. Let me know if, in the chat, I should say, let me know if you were able to hear that. All right, if you were, then we can go ahead and get ready to play this joint. All right, so once I get confirmation in the comments / chat, I will go ahead and release the hounds. All right, you can just give me a thumbs up or something. Yep, you heard it. Okay, cool. All right, thank you. Let's get it going.
Chasing everything, but somehow you're running in place. Freezing under pressure as if a gun in your face. Peers zipping by you at a punishing pace. Struggling to keep up, your Marcus turn that beat up. Caught it with no backing, pulled in every direction. Only put up a fraction of effort, but want the blessing. Did everything under the sun, but never wore the seas. Mixing fame up with success, but all you know is greed. Fall short, then you caught defeat. You ain't focused, B. If you don't develop your craft, you won't grow to be a master of ceremony. Stamp like notaries, for poetry. Go with beats, respected globally, sourced locally, organically homegrown. You rockin' with the best, we caught every throne stone. Then we sitting on stone thrones, but a legacy cemented. Cause we didn't jump ship for every wave that was trending. Ain't gotta chase clout when opportunity knocking at your door. So often the knuckles gotta be sore, stay the course. Tell a pedigree to pedagogy. Lesson one, the safest bet is always betting on me. Feel me one time, chasing way too many blocks for your run time. Cause there's only really one prize you need. And it's only meant for your eyes to see. Now feel me one time. Got way too many layers in your design. I'm just trying to tell you that there's one prize you need. It's only meant for your eyes to see. Yeah, locked in like I traveled this road without an exit ramp. Became the best at what I do, doing the best I can. Never been a jealous man. I just want what's meant for me. When I take hold of my pen, and then it's meant to be. Low sensory overload, watching their victory. Head down, eyes on the prize that God gifted me. That eventually blossomed to more than I had foreseen at 14. Of both the courage with a poor dream to get respect. A little money, you live to see it. Slept on, no Tempur-Pedic, my temper beat it. Never lost sight of my true self, I'm undefeated. Serving the words back to the skeptics so they can eat it. Sitting at a table I built when most conceded. Never conceded, I was just brave enough to believe it. Driven enough to walk this rugged path to the very end. Cut from different cloths, make sure it's what I'm buried. Feel me one time, chasing way too many blocks for your run time. Cause there's only really one prize you need, and it's only meant for your eyes to see. Hey, to feel it one time, got way too many layers in your design. I'm just trying to tell you that there's one prize you need. It's only meant for your eyes to see.
Marcus D, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Thank you, family. Yeah, man. Yeah, that joint. That's another one of those ones where like it was fun to write. Like what's crazy about this upcoming album is I did 2 trips to Japan last year, and the album's pretty much written mostly during those 2 trips. So like basically almost a little over a week, most of these songs were written, because like I think when I showed up out there, I only had like 1 verse written for all the beats that we had picked out. So, then by the time I left from the first trip, I had already written like 7 or 8 joints, including the 10 Winners joint. Then I came back out. Well, no, because 10 Winners was I wrote and recorded during the last trip. Like, yeah, I pretty much wrote it and then I was writing it on my way there, and then got there, recorded it, and then we dropped that by the time like it was out. I think by the time I got home. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like the quickest turnaround for a release that we ever did. But yeah, so I love like listening to the project so far, how much we got done, and realizing that like, yo, this was kind of like under the gun almost, right? And just seeing how effective of a writer I can be even with limited time, and not having like the amount of time that I had to write Adultish, right? Where because I put it out completely on my own, it was not a joint effort. It was still a collaboration with other folks, but like it wasn't everyone else's album, it was mine. So I could take as long as I needed. Versus this, it was just like, yo, we decided that we were going to record this project together. And so, yeah, man, just having limited time to work on this stuff and having shows like, both times I went out to Japan, we had at least 2 events to do. And so that last trip, we had 3 events to do. And I think the trip before this one, before that last one was like at least 2 or 3 events that we had too. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm glad y'all feeling the joint though. The nerve to have heat like this and not bring it to Texas. I'm disgusted. They should have never gave y'all niggas money. Yo, good old shit. They should have never gave you us money. Good old Chappelle reference. I might, hey man, y'all let me know. We running it back. We gonna run it back one more time. What we doing? We running it back. You know what I'm saying? How we feeling? We got the video up to 18 likes. You know what I'm saying? Let's say if I can get 2 more likes for the video, if somebody's here who hasn't liked it, you know what I mean? I'm gonna play it regardless. You know what I mean? But let's say if we get those 2, you know what I mean? We run it back one more time. You know what I mean? So if you ain't hit that like button yet, go ahead and do that. Look, that's one. Do it. Run it back. Bless this Friday. You got it. All right. Say less. All right, we're gonna run it one more time. All right, shout out to Marcus D, who killed the beat. All right, here we go. One prize, produced by Marcus D. Vocals by yours truly.
chasing everything, but somehow you running in place. Freezing under pressure as if a gun in your face. Peers zipping by you at a punishing pace. Struggling to keep up, your markets turn that beat up. Caught it with no backing, pulled in every direction. Only put up a fraction of effort, but want the blessing. Did everything under the sun, but never wore the seas. Mixing fame up with success, but all you know is greed. Fall short, then you caught defeat. You ain't focused, B. If you don't develop your craft, you won't grow to be a master for ceremony. Stamped like notaries, for poetry, go with beats, respected globally. Sourced locally, organically homegrown. You rockin' with the best, we caught every throne stone. Then we sitting on stone thrones with a legacy cemented. Cause we didn't jump ship for every wave that was trending. Ain't gotta chase clout when opportunity knocking at your door. So often enough, you gotta be sore, stay the course. Tell a pedigree to pedagogy. Lesson one to take this bet is always betting on me.
Feel me one time, chasing way too many blocks for your run time. Cause there's only really one prize you need, and it's only meant for your eyes to see. Now feel me one time, got way too many layers in your design.
That's Marcus
I'm just trying to tell you that there's one prize you need, it's only meant for your eyes to see.
Yeah, locked in, like I traveled this road without an exit ramp. Became the best at what I do, doing the best I can. Never been a jealous man, I just want what's meant for me. When I take hold of my pen and then it's meant to be. No sensory overload, watching their victory. Head down, eyes on the prize that God gifted me. That eventually blossomed to more than I had foreseen at 14. Of the courage with a poor dream to get respect. A little money, you live to see it. Slept on, no Tempur-Pedic, my temper beat it. Never lost sight of my true self, I'm undefeated. Serving the words back to the skeptics so they can eat it. Sitting at a table I built when most conceded. Never conceded, I was just brave enough to believe it. Driven enough to walk this rugged path to the very end. Cut from different cloths, make sure it's what I'm buried
Feel
in.
me one time, chasing way too many blocks for your run time. Cause there's only really one prize you need, and it's only meant for your eyes to see. Now feel me one time, got way too many layers in your design. I'm just trying to tell you that there's one prize you need, it's only meant for your eyes to see.
Slept on. No Tempur-Pedic, my temper beat it. Man. Quartered with no backing, pulled in every direction. Yeah, man. This album, y'all. Masters of the Artistry coming soon. Bring it back. Yo, shout out to Marcus D. That's him playing bass too on this joint. You know what I mean? There's a photo. If you're not following Bob Alloy on all social media, definitely check it out. But there's a photo I took of Marcus in the studio. Literally was trying to figure out the bass line for this joint and another joint. You know, but yeah, man. Someone said one more time. All right, we'll see. We'll see. Hold on. I don't know if you said it before I joined, but this Bop Alloy album have a release date. So no official exact date right now. It's probably going to be toward the end of the summer. But yeah, first single is dropping. This song, One Prize, is dropping on Monday, along with the announcement for our LA show and the ticket sales for that. Then it'll go on streaming. After being on Bandcamp for a little bit, it'll go on streaming after that. Then by the time we launch, we're going to launch the Kickstarter campaign shortly after. But I can tell y'all this, we don't have the date yet, but I can tell you who's on it. Confirmed features include Blue, same Blue of Blue in Exile. We got One Below, a Binary Star. Javier Starks is on it. Stephanie Gale, of course, my sister from another mister, she's on it. Uyama Hiroto is on it. We got an artist we haven't confirmed yet, but hopefully that works out in the next 2 weeks. Who am I missing? Is that everybody? That might be everybody for now. Yeah. I think that's it. But yeah, man. It's dope. It's dope. I can tell you that. You know what I mean? I love it, yo. I really love what we were able to pull off. Yo, Marcus, turn that beat up. You know what I mean? All right. You give me a fall release date that might hit harder than the Unity push. Yeah, I think it's gonna be summer. I think it's gonna be late summer, like before the fall. But yeah, we'll see. Blue and Uyama, can't wait. Not on the same track, but on the same album for sure. You know what I mean? And both of those songs, one of those songs is the last song on the album. The other one's definitely going to be the single right before the album drops. But yeah, yo, it's special, man. And we just got the artwork too. Whew. Lord have mercy. That thing is it's special. It's special. Now look, I got more news for y'all, and then I gotta get out of here. But yeah, so upcoming events. Let's see. Back up. Yeah, we already talked about Adultish. So upcoming events. Your boy Sub Stigley, Substantial is gonna be at I'll be at Momocon in Atlanta next week. So I arrived Thursday, and I got a long list of events and things to do while I'm there. So catch me at Momocon in Atlanta. For those of you who will be in attendance, be sure to hit up our booth. Our booth is booth 102. On Thursday night at 10 p.m., I am doing sketch pads. That will be happening at 10 p.m. on Thursday, the first night of Momo. And then on Friday, this amazing concert will be happening from Adult Swim to Lo-Fi, featuring Alan Z, Asheru, Aztec, J Live, Javier Stark, Substantial, and Superstition. Yeah, man, that's a hell of a lineup. It's going to be a great show. Hope to see y'all there. But yeah, so that's going down very soon. No surveys this time. This should go without saying, man. Like, so the thing is, the way it works, like I have to do surveys. I don't have a choice, right? Because that's how I collect certain data. It's how I get people's addresses. It's how I get people's shirt sizes, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, man, the problem is so many people contribute to the campaign and they don't use Kickstarter a lot, or they just signed up for the first time and they don't know. So there were like, I think like two people who never completed their surveys. So people who basically bought the album and supported, but I was never able to send them the merchandise because they didn't complete it. The thing is, the way I do it now too is like, people have a certain amount of time to do it. Because it usually takes not a full year, but like a certain amount of time to get everything completed, right? Like and shipped out. So like people might be waiting for months sometimes to get everything. And so because of that, like, I gotta cap it at like a year. Like, if you don't do it, like after the thing is complete, if you haven't given me your info within like 6 months to a year, fam, I'm sorry. Like, I don't mean to take your money and run, but like in some cases, like I've messaged the people. In other cases, I had to find out, like I had to like track them down on other platforms. Certain people I had to hit up like 3 or 4 times before they sent me their info. And just as somebody who's already ridiculously busy human being, that's a lot, fam. And then, if you got like 200 people who supported your thing, that's a lot of messaging, a lot of additional like administrative work that happens to make these things go off without a hitch, and to make sure that everybody who supported is happy. So the biggest thing I can say is just like, if you have a Kickstarter account already, make sure it's connected to an email that you actively check, right? And then for those of you who are signing up to Kickstarter in order to support it, make sure it's connected to an email account you actually check. And don't be so quick to unsubscribe from Kickstarter or ignore every message that comes from them. Because a lot of times you're teaching the algorithm how to pay attention to those emails. And if you're a person that ignores every email that comes from them, eventually that stuff goes to your spam. And then that means that you also miss the updates that I'm giving in real time. And then people show up months later, almost a year out, complaining that they didn't get a thing. And then I got to screenshot all the messages I done sent them across different platforms. Like, fam, I literally go live asking people to do it. I'm trying to meet you where you are. I did everything except show up at your house. You know what I'm saying? And then of course they're apologetic after that. But like, I do what I can, man. I've been doing this a long time, so I know how to do it properly. But I still need people I need you to work with me, people. Work with me. Any idea when the Kickstarter may start? Got to save for that. So the goal is to have it start probably. It'll probably be June. We're putting things together now. So whether I don't know if it's going to be early June or mid June. I still got to finish editing the video, and then we got to finish mapping out what the perks are going to be. But we just got the artwork, so that's going to be key. But just make sure you're following me on Kickstarter. Just search Substantial on Kickstarter and hit follow. Or you can search Bop Alloy or Marcus D. Any of our names, we all have accounts. It's going to be a collaborative Kickstarter account, so it literally will be attached to any of our accounts. So yeah, man, it's going to be dope. I do have an event at the end of the summer. If y'all want a platform in the audience, hey, don't threaten me with a good time. You know what I mean? Listen, we could definitely talk about that offline, but yeah, I know we already started talking about it, but yeah, that would be awesome. That would be super awesome. Thank you, sis. What was it like to work with Blue? He's been one of my favorites since Below the Heavens. Yeah, he's super dope. I haven't met him in person. This business was done via the internet. Marcus and him communicate they were the ones that made it happen. I wasn't able to work directly with him, but he heard the Marcus sent them the beat and the concept and all of that, and with my verse before we had a hook, and the early version of it, Blue wrote back, was like, "Yo, Substantial killed it," and then he sent me back a verse where he destroyed it. But what he doesn't know is, like, man, we went back into the track, finished the hook, and then had a beat switch in there, which I added an additional verse, and Marcus put some cuts on. Yo, it's next level, yo. It's next level. It's maybe one of my favorite Bop Alloy songs all time, for a couple different reasons. No sir. Hell yeah, I read that one. All right. Sub Chuck D just dropped his Enemy Radio Armageddon today. I put a little something on track 5. Oh, word. All right, dope. I gotta check. Yeah, I gotta check to see what's going on, son. All right, let's wrap it up. I'm gonna share this other thing I want y'all to see. Hold on. So yeah, man. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Nope. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. So real quick, I know you all have been supporting the fundraiser that I have here that's under the thing, but I wanted to just give y'all a little more clarity, right? On Words Beats and Life. I know I've talked about it ad nauseum and stuff, and I've said a lot about the organization. I'm literally wearing one of the hoodies right now. But what I wanted to give y'all, I wanted to kind of give you some insight on what's been happening right behind the scenes. As y'all know, a lot has changed with this current administration. And that's literally affecting a lot of nonprofits, including us. So unfortunately, nearly $50,000 of money that we were promised from one of our grantors, courtesy of the NEA, was literally taken back. Well, not taken back as in they gave it to us and then took the money back, but as in it was promised. And then they contacted us and basically said that we were no longer going to be receiving the money. Now, for those who don't know about Words, Beats, and Life, we're a hip-hop education organization that does mostly free programming and free events year-round in the DMV area. That includes this event that you're seeing in front of you called DMV Made, which is an annual event that we do on the National Mall. You can see the National Monument in the background. This event's completely free. These events, these festivals that we do are festivals that run somewhere between $100,000 to $200,000 to do. And we don't charge the public anything. We solely do these events with the money that is given to us by sponsors and through grants that we receive. That's also how we fund our programming. But unfortunately, because of what's happening in the world right now, a lot of organizations like us are having funding stripped away. And in some cases, it's being stripped away at moments when we're supposed to receive it so we can move forward with plans that we already made, which is oftentimes what we told them in advance that we were going to do with the money. So that being said, this site right here that you're seeing a quick screenshot of is GiveButter. GiveButter is a website that allows people to make donations to organizations. So I know some of y'all have donated here. I'm just letting you know that there's a link in the video description, at the top of the video description, that allows you to contribute off of YouTube for those of you who'd rather do that. And you can contribute more if you'd like. Again, no pressure, man. It's never something, whenever I'm bringing this stuff up to you, I'm just practicing what I learned from some of the church folk I work with when I used to work at Covenant House. And what the elders would say around me, they was like, baby, you have not because you ask not. A lot of times people suffer in silence, right? I'll say this, we're not suffering as an organization, but these things definitely are affecting how we are able to program, how we're able to do what it is we've been doing for the community for over 23 years. So part of the role that I've taken on with the organization is to assist with the fundraising, to also help create other revenue streams through our merchandise, all the different things, and try to make sure that people have like a wide variety of ways they can support what we're doing. And in some instances, be able to get something from it, like for the money they're putting up. So it's not always asking people for nothing in exchange. Sometimes it's like donate if you can. And because we're a nonprofit, 501(c), you can these are all you can use this as a tax write-off as well. But I'm just letting people know what's going on rather than suffering in silence, because we're doing important work and really good work that's inspiring the next generation of young artists, and creating opportunities for them. For example, some of our young people, Wednesday night, I got hit up to do a show with the Last Poets here in DC. I was unable to do it, but what I did was I was like, yo, since it's going to be poetry acts, I was like, or since these brothers are legendary poets that inspired many poets and hip hop artists, it would be super dope if they'd be open to having some young people open for them. And so I put the director of poetry at Words Beats and Life in touch with my man Kaim. Shout out to him. And we were able to get our young people to get on stage and perform at this historical event. So that's the type of things we're able to do through the organization. Give young people platforms, opportunities, and things that a lot of times they aren't able to get on their own because it's so early in their journey. And yeah, man. So just happy to be able to share the work that we're doing with y'all and let y'all know, how y'all can support those efforts. Again, I'm not trying to come on here begging for money every week and stuff like that. I hope it never comes off as that. I'm just letting people know what I'm out here doing and letting them know how they can support it if they want to and are able to. So here's the link for more information on GiveButter. And even if you don't donate there, you're more than you're more than welcome, to donate via the YouTube button as well. All of this money, 100% of this money goes to Words Beats and Life. With GiveButter, that does take a percentage, like a very small percentage, like 0 to 5% in some instances. And there's like a small credit card fee, but that's with all of these platforms for the most part. But whatever you're able to do is greatly appreciated. One of the biggest things you can do is spread the word. Also, a heads up. Last thing I'm gonna say, and then I'm out of here for real. I've been saying that for for most of this live. But yo, I just wanted to give y'all a heads up too, that if any of y'all are interested, I don't know how many of y'all collect art, but if you do, next week maybe I'll show. Probably won't be next week. Maybe in like 2 weeks. I will show the artwork that Shawnee She created during the tribute event that I did back in February. I think I showed a preview of it before. But anyway, the auction is going to happen for that artwork. It's it's a painting that she did live of Nujabes and me. And yeah, we're looking to auction that artwork off. She'll receive a portion of that. And then a portion of the proceeds will be donated to Words Beats and Life and another organization as well. And I'll have more info on that soon. But if you're an art collector, you're a person that loves beautiful art in your home, and you're also a fan of the music, and you want to purchase some art that will look beautiful in your home, but also will help raise money for some organizations that's doing great work, that opportunity will be coming up soon. All right. So on that note, I'm out of here, son. Man, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Let's go to these last comments that I might have missed. I think there's only one donation. I think there'd be way more than just that. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, a lot of people contribute to our organization in different ways, or through different platforms. So we have a donation link that's on our website that people contribute. This Give Butter campaign, yeah, it's only been one donation. And that's likely because of the fact that, and this is the conversation we just had in the meeting. Oftentimes, what most people do is they, when this starts, they reach out to the people they know first and foremost. And so I was tasked today with, they were saying, hey, if you don't mind, outside of just letting people know about the link under the YouTube channel to donate to, also have people, let people know about the Give Butter site too. So that's why I'm here letting you know that that's another option as well, because clearly not a lot of people know about that link. But at that link in particular, that's where, we specifically talk about how NEA took part of our funding away, or basically reneged on funding that they ultimately said we were going to receive. So it is what it is. Such is life. It definitely happens in the nonprofit space. That's why Substantial Art and Music ended up being a for-profit as opposed to a nonprofit. It was something that I learned early on working with other nonprofits, how, being at the mercy of folks sometimes isn't always the way to be. But it is what it is. On that note, last few comments. Let me see. Hold on. Before I forget, sub, I want to buy some merch soon. I think in the Patreon tier that gets a discount code. Could you remind me how to apply it again? So yeah, DM me and then I will give you the code. I know it's on Patreon, but it's like buried in there. There may be like a discount tab or whatever, or something like that, that if you can search the past posts, you should be able to find it in there. But if you reach out to me directly, I'll happily send you that code so you don't have to waste time looking. All right. Thank you for checking in and giving me heads up on that. Dang, I need to get myself some merch from Uncle Stan someday. Hey, nephew, text me, either shoot me a text with your birthday coming up, man. Hey man, look, shoot me a text with your new address where you are right now. And I'll send you through a birthday package. You just go through the site, you let me know what you want, and I'll put some stuff in the mail. You know what I mean? Look, early birthday gift. You know I got you. Love you, man. All right, family. I'm out of here. Y'all have an amazing weekend. Peace, Kevin. Take care. Namu, aka Nair. Peace. Have a great weekend. HappiMochi, you have a great weekend as well. Please share that donation link, y'all. And that's it. Yeah. Everyone take care. Have a great one. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm just making sure. Boop, that, boop, boop. Yeah, I'm done. All right, man. Love y'all. Y'all have a great weekend, man. And it's time for my youngest daughter's favorite part of the show. Peace. Who made it to the end? Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Yo, 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 yeah, 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 yo, 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 yeah, yeah. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Yo, 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 yo. Subscribe, like, do whatever you like. Stay subscribed, like, do whatever you like. That's right.